Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the Thursday night live stream where we have the 5th round of the WEC-Xperience online championship here in Le Mans Ultimate. And as, yes, you can guess by the thumbnail, we have this next race at Francorchamps. Second time this week, as the ELMS race that we did earlier during the week on Monday was also at Spa. So, double dose of Spa, and hopefully we can have ourselves another good one and get ourselves another good result. I wasn't initially feeling overly confident coming into the race. However, this evening I managed to work on the setup. I managed to actually find something that I do actually like and actually feels pretty good. And in the practice session, we were only 2/10 off of Jardier, which was quite nice. I don't know what fuel load he was running on. I was running on full fuel. So to kind of be in and around that sort of area is very nice, very promising, and hopefully we can convert that into a good result. Obviously, me talking about all that high praise from myself and things going well so far, things are going to go absolutely tits up here in this race, and we are not going to get the result that we want. But hey, jinxing myself and all that good stuff, as you always do. But yeah, I hope that you're all feeling good. Hope you all had a good week, and hopefully you are locking yourselves in, ready for this race here this evening. Very shortly, we'll be getting underway with qualifying in about the next minute and 30 odd seconds. So I'm just making last minute changes and preparations ahead of that, ready to go for when we head out onto the circuit to begin our lap. Just making those quick changes now, whilst I think of it. Hello, Jensen. Hope you're all good, mate. Hope you've been having a good week so far. I don't think there's really too much else that I want to change. And yes, as has been with the other WEC-Xperience rounds, we only have 6 tyres here in this race. So that is, I guess, the main conundrum that I'm going to have to think about and solve, or at least take into account in terms of strategy for this race, because only 6 brand new tyres, using 4 of those tyres in qualifying, we're only left with 2 brand new ones for the race, and tyre wear at this circuit at Spa is actually pretty even all round on all 4 corners. So there's no massive advantage, as it were, going one side to the other, so we'll see. I have an inkling as to what it is I am going to do, but whether we actually do it or not, we shall see. Either way, let's go ahead and bring up the game so you ladies and gents can see everything that's going on there, and yeah, all the sound and everything else like that should be all good. Nothing's really changed as of late. I move strategy stuff around into the right sort of place, so that's all ready to go when we get to the race. There we are, fitting that nicely on the screen above here on the rig. Right, qualifying is now getting underway. We are in split 1 of 3. This is not a big grid race. I was curious as to whether it would be 60 odd cars, but it's not. It's 38, but that's fine. Either way, this grid is going to be absolutely stacked. George Boothby. Come on. Pause in the hypercars. That's fine. I got a little bit confused a little bit there because I thought initially that he was in GT, but he's not. Let's go ahead and just select the GT3 class. That'll make it easier. Discover names. But yeah, George Boothby there, David Fuchs, Malinowski, Diogo, sorry. Chris Moorhead. All the names are moving and darting around. It's Ramonate. Obviously, Jardier in here as well. It's going to be a pretty tough race, I think. Interesting, I don't see Leon in here. He might be in split 2. But yeah, we want to try and get ourselves a good result. So let's go ahead and get ourselves heading out onto the circuit, shall we? See what we can do in terms of qualifying, and hopefully bag ourselves a good result. Now I'm opting to only go for 2 laps here, so I don't want to take too much out the tyres. 2 push laps, that is. So let's see how we get on. We should get the tyres up to temperature fairly quickly. Track temp 47.1 degrees, 29 degrees C ambient temperature, so pretty hot. This is going to be a dry race from start to finish. There is no variable weather or anything like that to take into account, so we'll be all good here. Just need to focus on trying to convert a good result. Hopefully stay out of any chaos and carnage, especially in a Rouge and Radeon and on that Camel Straight, and just try and pick up some pieces, because obviously there's some very fast drivers in here, and I feel like a top 10 could be possible. I'd like to be as close to the top 5 as I possibly can, but beggars can't be choosers. So all of those of you joining in the stream, do say hi. Hope you're having a good week. Let us know if anything exciting in your life is currently happening, has happened in the last week or so, or will be happening in the near future. Just taking a fairly steady out lap here, just to try and protect and preserve the tyres as we bring them up to temperature and not take too much life out of them. The first lap's going to be a bit of a banker lap, and then the second lap we're going to obviously try and push a little bit more. Hopefully the tyres will be up to temperature by that point. So the main place that we kind of need to watch out for is going to be Radeon. Right. Here we go. Not ideal. Not what I wanted. Guess I know this is the wrong way. Great start to these 2 laps. Halo wreck. Yeah, really not what I wanted there, but that shouldn't have done too much damage to the tyres. Such a slow speed spin that we should be good. Obviously there's a little bit more wear on that rear right now than the other corners, but that shouldn't really be too much of a cause for concern. Just 2 very small minor lifts there just to make sure we stay within track limits. There we go, turn the music off. Not the tidiest of exits. 2:18.8 as a first initial push lap by Neil. And then Malinowski goes and smashes that out the park. Oh, interesting. I'm not quite behaving as well as I want it to at the moment. Track is medium grip though. That could be why. So the high or saturated grip that I was driving with in the practice currently absent here. Obviously that's going to be having a factor. It's better drive off that time. Not a good first lap. That's slower than a lap on a full tank of fuel, but it seems like other people have had exactly the same sort of experience. And we are currently inside the top 10, so let's see if we can actually improve on this and convert on a better lap. Beautiful line there through. Ready on. Liking that. Oh, not as aggressive with the curb as I would have liked to have been. Better through those two corners that time. Hopefully we can be better here too. A bit more cautious on the way in just to make sure that the rear stays settled. Hello, Doc. Nicely flat all the way through there. This is going to be a much better, much nicer improvement. Okay, 2:19.2 pops us into the top 10, but obviously with the strategy that I'm going for here, I don't have enough fuel to go for another lap. Trying to preserve those tyres a little bit. So let's see how far we end up dropping down. Either way, pretty happy with that. But yeah, 270 is a little bit ridiculous. I can't remember what I did in practice. I think it was in and around a 2:19.5 or 2:19.6, something like that. When on a full tank of fuel as well. I hadn't done any volley practice, so we're just inside that top 10. And the changes that we're going to need for the race. Just to be sure. Yep. Okay, cool. And I need to figure out what I'm going to do here with with the tyres, because I would like to go left side brand new. However, that rear right being a little bit more worn at 96% is obviously not necessarily a concern, but it's less than ideal. So yeah, interesting. By the way, how high can you go on the radiator covers in roughly 25-degree temps? Relatively high. I'd say you're pretty safe with 60%. Next 70 might start to push it a little bit. It depends on what the in-game time is, around 2 PM. But yeah, you can close them up a fair amount, a little bit more than you think. If not, I'll be able to change them in the stop. But yeah, I'm thinking this. However, That might also be plausible. Far too low, 20% than the other night. Yeah, you can actually crank them up a little bit. I tend to find that the LMPs or the prototypes, you can run at 50. Pretty much all cars, to be fair, unless it's like very, very hot ambient temperatures and you don't have any sort of really long straights where the car will cool down. Only then going above 50% is dangerous. Or you're starting to push it. But yeah, you should be good around, in most cars you should be good around 50%, I'd like to think. Certainly all the cars that I have driven with anyway. Alright, here we go. We're going into the qualifying session.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
And we're starting P14. So other people have improved. Where are we? Nope. P10. Race labs lied to me for a moment. You can go up to 130 degrees on oil temps, right? Yeah, you can. And when you're at max speed on the straights, or at higher speed on the straights, the temperatures do actually come down a little bit as well. You're getting so much air coming into the car that it does manage to cool the car down. It's only really when you're accelerating, going up through the gears, do the temperatures generally tend to increase a fair amount. Right, I'm thinking this rather than going on the rear left. That should be enough. But let's see. Oh my god. 5 McLarens at the front of the field. Right. Now, this will be an interesting race. Note the 43 laps, or 42, yeah, 43 laps up at the top. So, this I think is going to be a race where we don't really change tyres. However, we will be doing that on the fuel. This is where I have a big incident and regret putting brand new fresh tyres on the car. But either way, let's see how this goes. Hopefully we can have ourselves a good one here. Hopefully we can hold on to a solid top 10. Thank you very much for the well wishes, guys. Turn the music off, 'cause getting close to go time. Ooh.
Green flag, green flag.
There we go. Pretty good reaction to the lights, to be fair. So I'm happy with that. Oh. Bit of contact there between myself and Jods. Slotting behind them now. Just going to eat that one. Yep, it's small, so that's fine. Yellow flags in and around. That's what it's for. But we've gained one position on the start, so that's good. Oh, here comes Hypercar. Can we get our nose in? Nope, not quite. Right. We actually need that. Hello, Lamborghini. Driver badge. It's because when I signed up to the championship at the beginning of the season, I was a rookie. I believe that is the reason as to why my driver badge is remained as a rookie rather than as a trusted driver. Oh, hello. Hoping the Ferrari would outbrake himself a little bit there, but actually did not. Annoyingly, this car isn't quite as good in terms of efficiency on its virtual energy usage, so I'm having to be mindful of that, whilst also trying to save. Two laps worth of virtual energy. So I'm predicting this to go 43 laps. As is my strategy calculator. Well, that's what it's telling me on Ultimate Setup Hub, so we shall follow and adhere to that. Oh god. Getting pretty close there. Lamborghini seems to be very good on its brakes. Or maybe just outbraking themselves a little bit. Gap them slightly there, out the top of a rouge. Which is nice, gives us a little bit more breathing room. Feels like we're doing so much lifting and coasting to try and save the fuel here. And even then, as you can see, we're a little bit down compared to everyone else. So they're managing to save just that little bit better. And Lamborghini behind there, getting very close. Hey, Luca. How's it going? Doing all good this then, thank you. So people, crack up your track limits warnings. Penalties, do that nice and early, that'd be great. Long way to go, still an hour and a half. Hey Anna. It's pretty decent. Setup that I have feels good, pretty solid and planted. The only problem with it seems to be its efficiency in terms of virtual energy usage. It's a little bit more difficult to be efficient in it in comparison to other cars. Uh, 22 laps in this stint. That's what I'm aiming for. God, it wants me to lift so early for turn 1. Yeah, it's pretty safe for Eau Rouge. You can hear there's a little bit of slip in the middle of the Radeon, but it's very nice and manageable. As you can see, just need to make sure you unwind the steering. But you can keep it flat pretty easy. Yeah, 22 will require some work, but it's going to be needed. Even if I don't make it in this stint, we're going to have to do a stint of 22 laps. You're running on lowest wing. I'm on 8 wing. Obviously, lower wing will help with efficiency. That is probably part of the downfall, the thing that's holding me back a little bit. Batch, hopefully with the patch and bot changes. Ooh, a little bit deep there. Can you read in a second? On Tuesday it brings other cars in line with the Porsche Maca. There's a patch coming on Tuesday? I was not aware of such thing. Hopefully it does. Because, yeah, the McLaren top speed is pretty crazy. I did a race, the weekly race at Le Mans last night in this car, and I just could not hold a candle to the McLaren. Started P3, finished P3, and the two cars that were in front were Ferrari, which I think was like one of the fastest GT3 drivers was driving that, proper esports sweat, so I wasn't getting anywhere near them, and a McLaren. Ah, nice. I was going to say, I haven't seen anything that there was going to be a patch or update coming, so that's good to know. Suffering a little bit there. Coming out quad pull frere. Right, am I getting the usage that I need? 4. So 4.5 is what I need to be hitting per lap in terms of virtual energy. We're averaging 4.54 at the moment. Last lap was good enough. Is this lap going to be good enough? No. Well over what I need. Alright, Arna. Cheers for tuning in, mate. And best of luck in your race. Oh, a bit of an awkward line there. We'll eat that one. Ooh. And I wish I didn't. Here comes Hypers. There's my lovely disconnect sound. Wondered when that was going to happen. Yeah, you can go outside if you want to go. Goodbye, rubber. Yeah, we're using tyre. That's for sure. Glad he saw patience there. I was worried he was going to try and well and truly dive me there. How are we doing on tyres? Kind of as expected. It's nice to see a Lamborghini. Shame it doesn't have a livery, but it's nice to see one there. Trying not to lose too much time with these hypercars. It's obviously pretty tricky when they're all diving left, right of you in various different places, all while trying to fuel save as well. It's a lot to focus on and try and think about. Bit wide there. Car doesn't feel difficult to drive. It feels good. It's just we're having to fuel save a lot, or work hard to fuel save. It feels like I'm having to lift and coast a little bit more than other cars have to, due to how inefficient the Aston Martin is in terms of virtual energy management. So I think that's what's really costing me here. The good thing is the Lamborghini's not getting close enough for Rouge and Radeon to make a move down here. They're a little bit too skittish going through, and it looks like they're having to lift in order to make it through safely and not crash coming out the top of Radeon. So that's kind of helping us out here in holding this position. There's a few custom skins that I'm seeing, Barry, but yeah, there's quite a few black cars, which is frustrating. Yellow flag up ahead, but it's a hypercar. Not going to be a freebie. Going for the scent. He's managed to make it work. Slowed a little bit too much there, trying to get the switch back on him. So let's use them to help fuel save. Taking multiple stabs there of the brake. Going through the corner, never really got the car settled. Half a point for that, jeez. Bit of beef and chat. Always good fun. Hypercar complaining about getting hit by a spinning GT3. Dropped out of slipstream range here. Which is a little bit annoying. Seem to be lifting and coasting less than we are. Alice is back home. Realised that I needed a lift there, did that a little bit too late. Try and calm down the track limits a bit here. Oh, not that much. Right, we're starting to do a little bit better now. On the whole fuel-saving lift and coast management side of things. Right, question for you, ladies and gents. In the pit stop, do we change tyres? Oh, you know what I should have done? Actually, no, that wouldn't have worked. Never mind. Disregard that last thought. I almost feel like we should probably just leave the tyres as they are and not bother changing them. But we shall see. It's a graphical error, Jensen. It's basically not loading the custom liveries of other people. I'm not entirely sure what's causing it, because it doesn't seem to be consistent. Sometimes it loads liveries, sometimes it doesn't. You're welcome, mate. So yeah, if I am going to change tyres, it'll be on the left side only. So it'll only be a 5, maybe 6 second pit stop, or 5-6 seconds longer to perform that service. The question is it going to be worth it? It might be. A track like Spa, where it's quite long. Obviously, there will be a fairly significant balance difference between left and right side. However, the extra grip in some corners, some situations might be worth it. Thanks, mate. Appreciate being sideswiped there in the middle of a braking zone. Why am I lifting? They need to do that. Right, we could do that. Tires. It's a bit wide. Right, we're certainly doing much better than others in terms of fuel saving, which is good to see. Hopefully, pays off when it comes to the second stint. There we go. Kept it in that time. Yeah, Silver might be going for alternate strategy, possibly doing 21 laps in this first stint, 22 laps in the second stint. So the other way around. That's what I'm doing. At this point, if I were them, I'd be committing to 21 laps on this. I'm doing 22 in the second stint. Left side struggling a bit there with that exit. Even more reason why I think it's probably a good idea to change those left side tyres. So there's a number of key corners where we're going to have more grip and could potentially make up time. Oh, yellow flag. That's a hypercar again. I was hoping that was a freebie. Yeah, the annoying thing is we have to fuel save in both stints. If we went flat out, we would be splashing and dashing for 3 laps at the end, which obviously costs way more in time. Basically, doing this strategy saves us about 35 seconds. Still 1 hour to go. Yeah, I've seen you guys been chatting in the YSR channel about it. Be cool if you guys did do it. Yeah, Silver's definitely going to be pitting a lap earlier than us. Jide struggling with the Lambo. Deadly on worn tyres. Yeah. It's not the safest of cars around here. So, this Aston Martin feels good. It feels pretty slanted. It's just slow. Yeah, I'd be changing tyres if I was him. Especially with how dangerous it is through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. There's quite a few McLarens at the top. And in the top 5 or 6 were McLarens in qualifying. Hey Johnny, how's it going, mate? Surviving, good stuff. P5 hasn't fuel saved enough. Interesting. I know that Booth B looks like he's on pretty good. Nice healthy 18%. But he's in P6 in the Porsche. There's definitely a couple of cars in front that are going to be pitting a lap earlier than us. Yep. Exactly those, Luca. We got it. But it slowed in the end. Oh. Hypercars into the pits. Might be a busy pit lane for some of the other cars in and around us. When they go into the pits, that is. I don't think that would be possible. Didn't mean to activate the speed limiter there. Pardon me. Right, leader's going around again. Expecting to see a few people jumping into the pits here. There's two. Oh, deep. Right. I wonder if any of the other guys who are in the pits now are going to be changing tyres. Bit more beef going on in chat. People aren't happy with the number 25 car. We're in. Find our pit box. Lovely stuff. Silver with a 1 minute and 5 second pit stop. From pit entry to pit exit. There's a lot of cars there. There we are doing a tyre change. Yeah, fuel is fine. Silver's gone through. A little slow to be out there, but is what it is. There goes Osborne. So Osborne had a longer pit stop. He changed tyres. Just like we are. Just got to remember that the left side tyres are cold. Alright, looks like we're getting some ground on Osborne. Obviously we lost ground on Silver. Hopefully these tyres come up to temp fairly quickly because Koval's right behind us now. We will be getting good grip from them though. Once they are up to temp, that is. my god. Right, way too late there. Even with the slight lift. Alright. Tyres are getting there. See if we can close in on the cars in front. So who didn't change tyres? Osborne did, Silver didn't. Jardier and Boothby did. So Silver's the only one who didn't change tyres in the stop. Otherwise, everyone else changed at least 2 tyres. I was a little bit worried about my fuel ratio there, but it is, or was set correctly for the pit stop. Right. 14.5 seconds. See if we can start closing that down. People in front are doing high 220s. Were you closing in on Osborne as well? Can't remember what the gap was to him at the start of this lap. So we're 22.3. Yeah, Osborne with 24.1. Wow. I doubt we have that much of a pace advantage over the two of them in front. I think there might have just been a one-off for the both of them, though we are closing in on Silver quite a bit. That was tight with fuel? Yeah. Oh. We do have a bit more time to play with. I suppose both the cars in front are going to be needing the fuel saving this stint. Someone in chat is going, "What the fuck are you doing, donkey?" Hyper! Oh, God. Yeah, both cars in front really struggling. Not neutral. Oh. The Ferrari behind us disappeared. Not sure what happened to them. Osborne and a back marker fighting. It's going to help us out rather nicely. P7 could be on the cards. Oh dear. Kind of a shame that wasn't one of the front runners. And that being a freebie, but I think that might have been the... That wasn't the Ferrari that was behind us, was it? We're through. Hey Mowbray. It's going good, thanks. How's things going on your end? Coming at a pretty exciting point where we're closing in on the two cars in front of us, as well as this back marker. So they are currently fuel saving. Trying to. Oh, look at this Valkyrie. Got the overspeed on the other Valkyrie. Oh, spinner. Thank you very much. Geekman being Giga. Letting us on through there. That Ferrari's still there? Yes, it is. That's not off-putting at all. Oh, Silver who was behind. Yeah, he disappeared. Oh, Silver. No, Silver's in front in the Lambo. No, he's just fuel saving. So his and Osborne's lap times are quite slow, but Osborne's picked up the pace to try and counter us, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, because they did put a lap earlier than us. Not the best of laps for us there. Yeah, he was. But yeah, he needs to do the usual. Not the usual. He needs to do 22 laps in this stint. Spawn's starting to pull away. He's still got 3 to 4% deficit though in terms of virtual energy. My fuel calculator is saying I've got half a lap in reserve. So they're going to have to start fuel saving at some point if they want to make this. And they're going to need to fuel save pretty hard. Otherwise, they're going to need to stop again. Oh, that's a wheel that I saw there off to the right at the top of Radion. That's not good. From that far back, you don't. Somehow we managed to miss each other there. Lap 30. We're going to have to look at that in the replay. Yeah, that was really close. You know what Osborne might be doing? It might be pushing to try and close up on Silver. Try and get the position from him, and then start fuel saving hard. So that he finishes in that 8th. Rather than 9th. Because it does seem to be pushing. And they're trying to. Annoying thing is their pace is still quite good whilst they're doing it. Not quite closing in as fast as I hoped. Although Osborne's very slow here. He's lost a huge chunk of time. Yeah, I don't need to fuel save as much as they do. I only just fuel save effectively 1 lap. They need to fuel save 2. So naturally, the difference in energy percentage is going to decrease as this thing goes on. Because we're all aiming to finish with basically 0 to 1%. It's just the strategy that they're doing is the reverse to what I did, where I went the 2 extra laps in stint 1. They're doing the 2 extra laps in stint 2. I need to keep telling myself he's not on the racing line. It's him being sat there is really kind of distracting and messing up my corner a little bit there. Should be an auto return, turn to pit, not moving on racetrack more than a lap. Yeah, after a certain period of time, we should definitely do it. Like after 5 minutes, I think it's pretty reasonable to be auto return to the pit. Yeah, we don't have the grip on the right side tyres for these left-handers to really push and negate the time loss. Jardier's managed to get up to P5. I think McLaren's had some issues somewhere along the line. I see. Alright, gap 7 seconds now. I think Chardier's getting a little bit annoyed that Koval's just sat there in turn 15 and not moving. Actually see silver now in places. Well, Koval's been DQ'd. Whether he's actually being teleported back to the pits or not, doesn't matter. I just saw DQ next to his name down the relative in the bottom left. Right, This is where I might need to start doing a little bit of fuel saving, because we're teetering now right on the edge of being able to make it. Three or 44 laps. 43 whole laps, I think. All depends on where the race leader laps us. There we go, Coval's gone. Race leader is at Eau Rouge. They're lapping about 16, 17 seconds a lap quicker than we are. Their pace on the previous lap was a 2:04.4. That's the ball. Look where you're going, Yorkie. Now we do have slight damage on the front. Yep, that'll be the McLaren for you. Osborne's really picked up his pace. I think he did change tyres with us, albeit on the lap earlier. Just why his pace being good. Max speed cap in WEC. Don't think so. One thing's for sure, the McLaren is very quick in a straight line in the game at the moment. Yeah, the thing is, you're not going to be hitting that top speed here on this track. Your top speed here is more determined by the amount of wing that you're running. Alright, if these two can have an almighty fight, Osborne and De Silva that is, that'd be great. Help us close in. Oh, Osborne very slow again. He might be actually on the edge of getting a drive-through penalty. He's having to slow drastically on that straight there to avoid picking up those last track limits points. And he's obviously just being very cautious, making sure that he does actually clear it before it amounts to anything. That's my only explanation as to why he's so slow going down that straight, because even if he has a moment, it's not going to cost him that much. Even a fairly big one. That's a jumping on the brakes. Sort of speed loss. I mean, he could be having a very big moment and managing to save it and gather it back up, but yeah, curious. So I'm slow again. Yeah. Catching. See if he has another moment here, or if he's gonna correct himself. Even I lifted. maybe. Thing is, every time that I start to get close, he then settles down and starts to pull away. Even the Silver's managed to equalise his pace. Alright. There's port. So we should only really go for 3 laps from here. Oh, this one's really struggling with tyres, it seems. Come on. See if we can get him. Messy. Come on, there we go. Big tuck in. Don't want a pit stop though. Oh. Koval's talking in chat, apologising to everyone. 'Cause, apparently both kids started crying and needed attention, and the wife kicked them out the rig. Apparently did leave it in the gravel facing the barrier, but he left it in second gear, so the car rolled. Yeah, he was just apologising in chat about it. Last lap, we are going to have to do a little fuel saving this one. Ooh. Half a point to go. Yeah, I mean, I understand it. It's the potential there to gain is pretty big. So I don't really mind that too much. Nice, the hypercar behind being sensible. Not trying to rush past. There we go. We made it across the line. P9 in the end. A bit gutting. It would have been nice to have picked up P7 there, but the other guys just about had enough pace to hold on. Oh, still top 10. Happy with that. We gained a place, so that's good. Only Aston. I've not seen another Aston in Split 1 in quite a while. Apart from those that we see in the hypercar, we can ignore these. But yeah, the Aston's not a very popular car anymore. But yeah, reasonably happy with that. Yeah, the race did go smoothly. That's for sure. Could maybe go down on that rear wing, I reckon. But it is what it is. Save this. So I can upload that on ultimate setup hub for you ladies and gents to download and use whenever you use this car. I don't know, my wrist hurt a little. I don't think we're going to get results yet, so let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. There's a few things to cover. Lap 30, there was an incident with a hypercar where it dived down the inside. Not necessarily making contact, but it was very, very close between the two of us. That one would be a good place to have a look at. And then we'll see what's happening with Osborne on a few of the occasions there where he was a little bit slow going down the Kemmel Straight. I reckon he was probably having a bit of a wobbly moment and trying not to exceed track limits. That's my thoughts on that one. Just the one thing? Looks like it. Okay. What Discord saying there was 2 notifications for me to look at, but no, just the one. Right. Let's take a look at this race start. Seems like we got one position straight away, straight from the off, if I remember correctly. And then we almost gained another 2, going down the inside of Jardier at turn 1. I think we only got one of them before the Lambo managed to come back past us. No, it was a Ferrari. Not the Lambo. Lambo was later on. There we go. So yeah, that was pretty close there on the back of them, but I think we got this Lambo pretty much straight away here at these lights. There we go, good reaction. Space down the inside here, so let's have a look. Jardier tried to semi-cover it off. I think it's a mix of me not quite turning in early enough to Jardier probably turning a tad bit too early there. Causing a little bit of contact, but didn't really do much other than give us a little bit of front end damage. Ferrari lifted to let us go. Yeah, there we go, straight away around the outside. Nice move by them. Oh my god. Good thing that hypercar moved out of the way, because this is a view from the onboard here. Woo! I don't really think anything else happened in lap 1. Everything was pretty settled. We tried to go for a bit of move there, but didn't quite make that work. forced and defensive here. Lambo managed to stick its nose in, which I didn't really want. I wanted to try and switch back there. But of course the Lambo took that away from us, so slipstream. They're not really close enough to make a serious move. Slightly outbraked ourselves there. And then, yeah, they just started pulling away, and I was having to do my best to fuel save straight from the off. And, yeah, as I was saying at the beginning, this car is not very efficient in terms of fuel saving. That was just a little bit deep. And we're getting very close to us there. I don't remember too much more happening. Lambo got a cheeky dive on us in turn 1 on one of the laps. Got that one. Hold that. There it is. It was a pretty good opportunistic move. Saw it coming, so it gave plenty of room, but they managed to straighten up good enough. Kind of put a bit of a block on me on the exit. So I lifted here to try and, one, give myself breathing room coming through here so we can hopefully pick up the slipstream, and 2, also a little bit of room just in case they had a moment coming through a Rouge, because I know that Lamborghini's not the most stable cars through there, but they got through there fine, and obviously I dropped a bit too far back to make anything happen again after that, so nothing happened else there. I don't really remember any other incidents or close moments up until lap 30. Obviously, Osborne had some wiggles, but that's about it. Yeah, that was naughty from the Porsche. I knew he was kind of looking, but it's come from so far back. Like, both on the brakes there, and there's probably about a car length between the two of us. He's just full-on dived in. It's quite a short braking zone. My god, that's so close to contact. How is that not? Oh, my poor bumper. Oh. Closest of shaves. Right, Osborne. Having moments in Eau Rouge. What was happening? Yeah, slowing for track limits. Oh my god. seems sketchy as hell. So maybe it was lap 30 it happened as well. So I remember two laps on the bounce. Interesting noises there. Okay, so lap 30 was fine. Lap 31 we know. Lap 32 we know. 33. Fine. What is the wheel inputs on that? Must be horrible to drive. Okay, it doesn't look as bad on board as it does off. Off board it looks horrendous. Like, it looks like it's four-wheel drifting at midway through Radeon. Like there, it's sliding. Saw the tyre marks from the front left tyre. Fine there. Might have been here then when it was really quite close to De Silva. Yeah, big lift there, look. I mean, he does go all four wheels over. Kind of lucky that the car behind didn't just plough into the back of him. Okay, so maybe it was lap 39 as well, which is the second lap in a row where it was slow. Oh my god. Yep. Ooh. Yeah, that was pretty close. But yeah, there wasn't really much else to look at, I don't think. I think there was obviously incidents with hypercars and things like that, but I don't remember where they are. I don't really fancy going through the replay looking for them. So, I'll take a look at the final standings. The final results. Gained one place, lovely. Oh, well, up 11, nice. Big game driver rank, excellent. Expected to finish 9th, okay. One driver lost a driver lower. Contact with another vehicle, Jardier, yep. Hitting the barrier 2 times. 271 points scored. Reasonably good. Yeah, Osborne was the driver in front of us who had a lower rating and beat us. Who had a higher rating and beat us? Ah, Neil. Interesting. Well, there we go, ladies and gents. That is round 5 done and dusted. Pretty happy with that. Top 10 in a pretty good and competitive field. The car felt good. So I'll upload the setup to Ultimate Setup Hub so you guys can all access that and enjoy it. But otherwise, I will say there is no video this week because I haven't started working on it as of yet, but I'm hoping to get that going over the weekend. So yeah, Look out for the stream on Monday evening, where we'll have the next round of the European Le Mans Series. I believe it's at Silverstone, so that should be a good fun race. Until then, though, thanks very much for tuning in. Please give the live stream a like, and I hope to see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Take care.